Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man and Antz. We're playing some more Empires of the Undergrowth today. So this open beta has had yet another update. Rather confusingly, the update suggests that a couple of things that were already there were added. So the extra map in free play, the embankment one that we already did. There we go, the embankment with the river running through it, that rainforesty one, kind of suggests that's brand new, and obviously I've already played that. And also the aggrandized extra level, it suggests is new as well. So I think they kind of mashed together, or I've read them incorrectly, and maybe I just sort of saw the previous update squashed into the other one. So it is just the one update that comes with this one, and obviously a bunch of bug fixes as well. But the update to this one has included the Phorid flies as a challenge mode for the level 3 formicarium missions. So in the formicarium missions, in the level 3 ones, there is now a challenge mode which adds in the insidious flies. Ooh, very exciting. So we're going to have a go at that. Now we're going to put it on, because as always, time is a little bit short. It's already coming up to 10:30 in the evening. So I'm thinking we'll stick with the harvest, because I feel like the harvest is the one I've done a lot of. Okay, so here we are then in 3.1. So we're going to go with largely the same tactic we used for the insane, we don't actually need that, do we? For the insane playthrough. So we're going to dig this out here, we're going to dig this out here. Was it this one as well? That one as well. As a...
The juicy grubs nearby are a staple meal for many underground.
As a leaf store, and then we'll make workers around here.
This budding Atacephalotis leaf cutter
dig that out. We'll put some leaf store in there.
And it must be collected above ground.
We'll dig that out to get the waste store going. So this is on easy, so it should be just a nice gentle introduction to the Phorid flies. That's the idea. So the Phorid flies are a parasitic fly, essentially. So they will lay their eggs in ants and attempt to, will lay their eggs, and that's what they'll attempt to do. And obviously then the eggs will hatch in the ants. They'll feast on their delicious bodies. And it'll be generally unpleasant for the ants.
Could lead any number
so every time, I did read something in the newsletter which said that every time a Phorid fly attacks an ant, the ant has a chance to fend off the fly. Obviously, the better the ant, the higher the chance. And level 3 medias and majors have a 100% chance to not be infected. So, level 3 medias and majors are going to be quite important, I suspect.
So not eaten directly. Instead,
so we can see the movement code seems to be a little different there, doesn't it? It seems like I've not seen it do that sort of... Normally it's just like a straight line, isn't it? Or am I just making that up? So it looks like the enemy's actually gone straight down. So they're actually going to be relatively challenging. Because that is the worst place that the enemy can go to for food in this game mode. Now it is on easy, so I'd hope that we are okay. Over here somewhere, look, I've just noticed on the map, there's a Phorid fly icon. So somewhere, is this them here? These must be the Phorid flies just here. Look, should we take a closer look? Nope. What are you doing to me? So I guess that means we cannot use this area whatsoever. Because doing so is going to mean that we get, I assume, attacked by Phorid flies. Ooh, they're quite small, aren't they? Innocuous looking, you might say. Interesting. I do that every time, don't I?
The ants' activities outside the nest have not gone unnoticed. They are being watched.
So there isn't too much. Normally we'd try and go like sweep side to side to try and make sure that we're not going to get attacked by this jumping spider, but we don't really have as many options with that this time. Let's add those to this group as well. That spider looks like he's moved on, which is lovely. So we're going to need to dig this out at some point to act as our... But saying that, if we're going to upgrade a bunch of stuff as well, then maybe we won't need to do that. And if we're not going to have as many ants as we normally would, maybe we won't need to worry about that. So let's pop some more of those down. We'll bring the 5 back in so they can do the eggs. And then the majors go over here last time, didn't they? But maybe we'll move the majors. Maybe we'll put them like down here or something. Maybe we'll have a few more of them. I don't know. I don't know. It also feels like it's been a little bit too long since I last played this mission, so I'm starting to doubt my tactics slightly. So they're popping the eggs down, so... Oh, I'll do it the other way. We'll put them both outside, and then we'll move the original nursery ants back inside in a moment, as those numbers have increased sufficiently. It's almost got our first 12 workers done. It's a little bit more food. There we go. So bring those back in to get that going. Now we can start working on our medias, which will just pop right here. In fact, I might dig this out first and try and put them somewhere they're not going to be too much of a pain. Am I going to do that? I don't know. I'm immediately doubting myself if I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just try and sort of carve them around here. As long as they're out of the way of these ones, I suppose. That's the main thing, isn't it? We are going to need some additional leaf store. So let's get some of that down. Probably means we're going to need some more waste store as well, but we need to wait for a bit of food to actually come in first. So let's send some more of our workers outside again. May as well get that dug out as well, obviously when they come back from their little forage over there. Okay, so brief interruption there. So we're digging this out. We're going to get some more waste down, aren't we? That's what we're going to do. So maybe let's dig. Let's leave that bit there. Let's bring these back in.
The most accessible leaves are located to the north of the nest entrance. However, another atta colony has already laid claim to them.
Yeah, they already have.
Of these nests places
that could be a mild problem for us. So these guys are going to come in and do some digging. I'm going to turn that off because I want them to dig this bit first.
And which will submit to the unforgiving law of the Undergrowth.
There we go. Took their time, but he's finally there. So we'll get a huge amount of waste. I say a huge amount. We'll get a chunk of waste dug out here. Like that. I'll increase this a nice little bit, which means we can then start on our first medias, which cost 80? Which cost 80, yes. Add him over there as well. Doesn't look the same as I had it before, but it will do. It will do. Doesn't look big enough, does it? But it might not matter as much for when it's on easy. We're already ahead of them. So I think we'll probably be okay. It's more the Phorid flies that are going to be a bit of a concern. I don't know what happens if we don't go over there. Do we just not get attacked by them? Or do they, like, each day are they going to move? How does it work? How does it work? That's the question. I was going to move those out there, wasn't I, to get some more food in, so let's do that. We have to decide where we're going to go after here as well, don't we? We'd maybe head up here, because it shouldn't be as horrendously busy as it often is. This bit, unfortunately, has been claimed. Normally, what you would do on this particular mission is, if the enemy claims this section, you abandon the game, you quit, and you start the level again. Because that generally means that it's just going to be too much effort. Just going to be too much effort. I might have to build the major nest somewhere else, purely because if we want them to be level 3, we are going to want to have a bigger grouping than that, aren't we? So maybe we'll leave that as the medias, and then maybe we'll build like the majors over here. I don't really want to break in through that though, do I? So it'd have to go here. Yeah, it'd have to go there. Which isn't ideal. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Right, let's get another major down. Let's bring the nursery workers back in. And now that the medias are starting to build up, because that'll be 4 once we've got those 2, we'll start getting a good chunk of food coming in. It'll start really increasing. Ah, more Phorid flies have appeared, look. Where are they? Oh, there's one there, and we like this plant as well. And up in our area up here, which is exactly where we were thinking about going next, wasn't it? So I think we'll abandon that idea and we'll go over there instead. We've got to keep an eye on this jumping spider as well, because he's looking suspicious. Now, of course, it is night time as well, so we have to worry about that as well.
The predators of the night begin to emerge.
Almost got enough food for our next media. May as well get that dug out while those 7 are in there. Is that a nighttime enemy? That is just a little huntsman. He's not so bad. So the phorid flies look like they stay around in the night as well. So what happens if your ant gets infected with the phorid flies? Does it just wander off and get hatched from, or does it come back and infect the base? We are going to have to experiment with it, aren't we, and find out. Leaf stores are filling up, so let's dig that out as well. We'll turn that into leaf store, and that gives us a nice little bit to upgrade then. How are they doing on this plant here? There's not much left at all, is there? So let's start sending them over there. Build another media. Just annoyingly out of place there. I just went slightly too far with my click. So that increase the store and give us some scope to actually increase the upgrade those as well. Now we're looking pretty safe over here at the moment. I was going to say not too many enemies around, but this guy's making his way towards us now, isn't he? So I think in the morning we'll start thinking about getting some majors done as well. I was going to get this dug out, wasn't I? So the full 19 is ready to go. Do we need 19 majors? That's an interesting question. We're going to have them, I think. Or at the very least we'll have... Oh, okay, that's more of a problem.
These rove beetle larvae are distant.
I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. The workers are going to take them out.
Despite a few million years of separation,
not quite as frustratingly hard on easy mode, are they?
And most importantly, a fearsome final form.
A fearsome final form. So I think we'll maybe get these few here done. And then we'll look at maybe getting some majors in, I think. And at some point we're going to have to consider upgrading them as well, so... Yeah, maybe we should have tried to get like a 19 built in there. And if we had to surround it with...
to a wandering harvestman.
There he is.
Its long, slender legs keep its vulnerable body elevated high above.
Now, they all still have their attack turned on.
It can release strong-smelling odors.
So any of them should attack him if he gets close enough.
A stern response will be needed to drive this.
Another meteor or two would be quite nice there. There's another one at least. There's 3 on him now, and there's 4, 5, 6 on the way. That's not going to be too bad, is it?
Overwhelmed by the defensive leafcutter forces,
he's running away.
The decides to make a swift exit.
He's still going to hang around though, just in case. So maybe we'll head up. Where are the phorid flies? So they disappear at night. I think the phorid flies disappear. Oh no, there he is. Maybe we will head up there just to see what happens with that phorid fly once we've finished off with this plant over here. Because that's going to give us a rather healthy 14 medias. I should see a rather healthy stack of food coming in theory, you would hope. One would hope. So do we carry on down here? How much is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've kind of got the start of a 19 there. We've got 5,
aren't the only
4, and then
nearby.
say there's 3.
Whilst the two atta colonies joust for territory,
So 4, 3.
Odontomachus Bowery
So we need to dig out
trapjaws
some
roam
over
the clearing.
here.
They can be found.
We might be able to do that without breaking into here. We'll give it a go.
To take back to their nest.
No, we can't, but that's fine, because they'll kill him easy anyway.
Their targets, exerting 300
Is that the huntsman back again? It
body
is,
weight in
yes, but there's a
single
bunch of
blow.
medias on him. Oh no, it's just the 2. That guy is in the plant. So they've taken care of him. So yeah, I might turn this into a 19 over here then. That one, and then those 3. Or is it those 3? I think it's those 3, isn't it? Yes. So we've got a couple of extra there, but is what it is. That's not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. How are we doing? We have just dealt with that. So I'm going to send them over here, and then we need to keep an eye on this forward fly and what he's going to do. Does he just immediately attack an ant as soon as it goes near, or is it going to have to be... He's just disappeared, look. That's interesting. Does that mean something's been infected? Does it just mean that they don't work at night? Or did he just so happen to time out at that exact moment? I'm getting confused here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3. Yeah, no, I did get myself just very confused. That's perfect. Some more forward flies over here, but we're not too worried about that area. That's not one of our favourite areas. How are they doing it? See, they've barely even cleared. They've cleared that plant. But they're just not doing very well, are they? They have gone for this area over here, which is very healthy with food. You can see there's, what, 5,000 food there? In this tiny little area, so that's quite good for them. But largely I'm just going to ignore the enemy colony. We're just going to do our own little thing. So we're going to get our last media there, which is going to give us those 19. Then we're going to make some speed tiles around it so we can upgrade the ones that are there, seeing as there's no walls there. And then we'll start working on our majors over here. Majors? We'll start working on our majors. What's
Daybreak
this?
has arrived.
Jumping spider.
The creatures of the night
Mashed.
scurry
Immediately
back to the
mashed.
dark crevices of the undergrowth. For the ants, however, the objectives of the day remain unchanged. Locate
Tiny
vegetation,
forage flies.
Defend supply lines.
So was it
process
not
leaves.
forage flies? Was I just
There
looking
is
at
no
normal
time for
flies
rest.
before? Are these the forage flies? Do we just see little insects around in general? I can't see any now. Maybe that's because there's ants there. Can't see any there either. But I think that's the forage fly. I don't think those are, which is what I looked at before, isn't it? So they are even smaller than I previously thought. Which means we'd have to very specifically go over there to get attacked by them. Oh, we've got quite a lot of food going. So let's get our first major down. In fact, let's get our second major down. Alright then, why not? So then we'll go for numbers first, and then we'll work on the upgrades afterwards. So now what do we do? Do we risk the forward flies? Oh, as we're already over here, do we go up here and take this food source away from the enemy? I think that's what we're going to do. We could go up here and contend this quite easily, but the enemy might kick out something quite strong, so it's probably not really worth us doing that. And it might not be that strong, because the enemy doesn't seem to be all that strong as it is.
The leafcutters have raised their first major ant. Its swollen head is filled with muscle to power
you go.
its crushing jaws.
Oops.
Few stand against it in combat and escape unscathed. This champion warrior will make a fine addition to the colony.
What are we fighting here? Oh, another jumping spider. Okay. Oh, 2 jumping spiders.
A brightly patterned jumping spider, Secasviri D. purpureus.
We're going to need to upgrade our waste store, because our waste is building up a little bit now. We're building these mages and stuff.
Incredible forward vision, allowing it to pounce on unsuspecting prey with pinpoint accuracy.
So food, as they were just waiting around for that movement up there, food's taking a little while to come back, but it's starting to trickle in now. Although these things here are going to... Oh, those mages got involved straight away. Carrying a solid food by the look of it, though. Mildly frustrating. And I missed the second round of upgrades for this, but we'll get those now. And it's not the end of the world if these internal ones get damaged. It's not even the end of the world if they die, particularly, to be honest. Trying to keep an eye for where these extra level 3s appear. That'll give us this one, and I think that's going to be it then, isn't it? Yes. Well, that's massively increased our waste store, and more importantly, the waste storage processing is going to massively increase. They're starting to get a few ants now. They're getting a few. I wouldn't say it's a lot, but they're getting there. How are we doing? We can get another major down. Yeah, now they're starting to send a few numbers down there. They're not, I don't know, are they catching? They might be catching, because that's quite an easy food source for them, isn't it? Our easy food source over here is being tainted by phorid flies. And this one up here has also been tainted by phorid flies. But if we can just keep the numbers coming in, we should be okay. As long as we can get increase the size of our army significantly, get more food coming in. Look at all those moving the waste around, look. So many tiny little minims, I love them. So how are they doing over here? They're not doing amazingly, I suppose. They're still very slowly working on that one. Yes, this area over here where they've really picked up. Yeah, and they are definitely gaining quite rapidly now. No more phorid flies appeared yet. I do want to go and just annoy some phorid flies, but I mean, it's risky, isn't it?
The battle has begun.
Some trap jaws have arrived, but they've been absolutely destroyed. That is not a problem. Not a problem for us. I've just noticed how many of these I have. Don't do that. Is that more phorid flies appeared over here? Because that definitely wasn't there before, was it? So what have they appeared? Oh, it's just flying around. It's got no leaf to land on it. Oh, it just has landed on a leaf there, look. It's the first one we've seen move then. So that's definitely a new one. Another one over there, look. And another one just there. But do they only go for the leaves? Will they only attack the ants if you go for a leaf they're on? So are these ones here kind of useless? Who knows? Why are you hanging around? There's so much leaf around. Just walk slightly further forward. We have a fair bit of food to spend, I've just realised. Let's get some more majors down. So we'll go for numbers first, and then we'll work on upgrading once we've got 2 groups of 19, I think. Because normally, of course, in this particular level, it's all about the numbers. You don't really upgrade anything at all, that I recall. So having to upgrade things to try and counter the phorid flies is going to be quite an awkward thing to try and balance in this level, isn't it? What I might do is I might put the 2s on here and then send the 2s, as they are relatively worthless, over here, and we'll see what happens. We'll do a little experimente. Here's the first two now. He's climbing the leaf. It's very close to a Phorid fly, but it just done nothing.
Phorid flies are attempting to lay eggs into the heads of
Here we
ants
go,
on the
here we
foraging
go.
Trail. Those traveling towards the leaves can defend themselves. Those lumbered with cargo will need assistance.
So I don't think they can get them when they're on the plant, but they are going to try and go for them as they're walking around, look. I was trying to wait for an opportune moment, and it looked like... Oh, there's loads of them, actually. Yeah, look at that, look. He's fairly close to him, isn't he? It's a shame he isn't in the light, because it's a little awkward to see it, really, isn't it? Yeah.
The ants must fight. A fly has injected one of the workers with an egg. The ant's internal organs will be slowly dissolved and consumed by the developing larva.
There's loads of them around. Is there a better shot there we can get of them? No, not really. They're so small, it's kind of hard to get them at a good moment, isn't it? So what happens to this guy that's been infected? He just walks very slowly. He just walks very slowly. He doesn't seem to be taking any damage, does he? I mean, he's walking so slowly, he's entirely pointless. We've got so much food. Let's get some more of that done. So they only managed to infect one there. Is it better that he's alive or worse that he's alive and going so slow? He's going to present much more of a target. Oh, there's two of them, look. They're going to present much more of a target for any enemies. They're carrying food that could be carried by another ant. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, yeah, they might as well be dead. They would go so slowly. And I don't think their health's gone down at all. I mean, if it has, I can't even tell. So we are still staying ahead of the enemy, but only just. It isn't only just. They have largely cleared out this entire area here now. Which is kind of good though, because it means they've only just sort of managed to catch up to us using their most vital area, their richest area. This area here is pretty good as well, but this area is pretty good, and we're stripping this ourselves. In fact, I think we've stripped this ourselves. So we'll probably head over here next. Again, the amount of food has snuck up on me. So yeah, we'll finish ripping this area out, and then we'll head like over here, I think. So there is this area here, but maybe we'll try and save that till we've got some level 3s around, because at least they will then be protected. Night is coming though, saying that.
Night falls, and under the cloak of darkness, velvet worms, bush crickets, and harvestmen emerge from their
velvet
hiding places.
Worms.
Any ant straying from the relative safety of the trail will likely meet with an unfortunate end.
There's a couple of things that look like they might get close, but nothing major at all. I mean, the enemy's just so weak in easy mode anyway, it's not really a concern when the workers can take them out. What was a little bit annoying there was a couple of ants coming forwards carrying food, a couple of ants going out to get some food. Obviously they attacked, dropped their food, and then they all walked back, rather than the ants that were not carrying food carried on to get more. So that's a little bit of a waste, but there we go. So this is largely empty here now, so maybe we'll go over here and take some of this vine. Because they have completely stripped, so they're going to be moving elsewhere soon. So we do want to start heading over there pretty soon. I'm hoping they will come down here and waste time getting not much at all. That is the hope. Probably should have almost went a little bit harder than the easy mode, but I really wasn't sure what the forward flyers would entail. And it's a good little... It's been a long time since I did any of these. There are intruders in the nest? A Trapjaw's just walked into the nest, has he? Cheeky Trapjaw. So that's going to cost us a little bit of time, isn't it? We'll head over here now, though. Now that's dealt with. Still a little bit of food coming in, so it didn't disrupt us too much. Apart from this guy, who's freaking right out. What are we going to do about that? Now that guy's freaking out. That must be the new movement code, having some very minor issues there.
A Paracanthus varius bush cricket has
that's a bit more
Antz.
of a problem.
Its thorax and appendages are adorned with sharp protruding spikes, offering 360 degrees of protection and turning its substantial forelegs into a pair of deadly flails.
But not the worst
This
problem. He went down
spiny
fairly
devil
quickly
will not
still.
easily be deterred.
Huntsman isn't a concern for us. There are our 19 major. So now we can start upgrading some of these medias, make them forward fly proof. Meanwhile, the enemy is really falling behind because they've just gone down here, look, and they're just messing around doing nothing. Idiots. Really just wasting time. It's like we've never played this game before. Now they're moving on. So I'm hoping they'll come down here and waste some time down here. Or they might come over here and start contending this left side with us. How are they doing over here? Yeah, they're starting to look... Numbers looking a little bit more. A few more medias over there. And they are coming straight over to contend this side with us, look. But they need to work through this food first before they get down to this. So we've got the choicest bits with these two big plants here. So if we can get those... I don't really mind them coming down here too much. And then we'll start, I guess, trying to head up here. So they'll upgrade a bunch of the medias. Just not sure that upgrading them means more food, that's the problem. So our numbers aren't going to go up from here, but the enemies quite likely will. Pop that back over there, shall we? Forward flies are starting to arrive in a few more places now, so there's now some on here somewhere. Oh yeah, I see them. I see them. Which again, that's a good plant. That's a bit of a shame. That's our backup plant when we're going up to these. So that is a bit of a shame. There's another backup plant just here though, which looks like it is free. And then these ones here in this area, which I never actually really get to. But maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll go up there. So when there's a forward fly in the area, like over here, is there anything you can do about it apart from upgrading to level 3s? Are they just going to sit there and attack you? Is there any way that do they disappear at some point if you get attacked enough? Or does getting attacked by them have the opposite effect and you actually get more of them coming for you? Because these ones here are a problem, so we've got to walk past there to get to any of this stuff. So that could be problematic for us. In fact, we've got lots of food, so we'll wait for our ants to upgrade this one so we can get our first level 3. So we now have one ant that is invulnerable to all forward fly attacks. Get on, sunshine. And there's the second one. That'll give us 2 more as well. We'll do those as well, since we've got the food for it. Also means our force is going to be quite hardcore at fighting, which is going to be quite nice. They've already stripped this plank clean, look. So now we're over to this one here, and this one's already down to just 300.
The ants will fight to the death.
What are they fighting? Trap jaws? Don't know, it's already dead. Don't even know what it was. And then there are Phorid flies over here, but that's not so much of a major area for us, so that's not too much of a concern. There's a lovely 800 there. If I can get to that, they are starting to work their way down there. They're ignoring that one to get down to there, look. It's almost a shame. Start sending ants up in that direction. Maybe we'll start sort of alternating them a little bit. So I'd like to try avoid getting into a fight if I can. Yeah, they're already going up there, so we'll stick with this one. We'll strip this one bare first, and then maybe we'll consider going and have a bit of a ruckus after. Just for funsies. So is that going to give us a couple more? Yes. It's going to give us 3 more. That'll give us some more again, won't it? I'm starting to upgrade the speed tiles, and I think that was confusing me a little bit.
As the sun rises over the treetops above, the diurnal jungle invertebrates emerge once again to.
So let's head up here, and if we get into a bit of a fight, we get into a bit of a fight. That's not a problem.
Remain steadfast in their efforts. All must be risked for the harvest. Phorid flies are attempting to lay eggs into the heads.
Oh, see, now there are Phorid flies over here,
Those
apparently.
travelling towards the leaves can defend themselves.
Yeah, there they are.
Those lumbered with cargo will need assistance.
So we'll need to see, we're supposed to have like a separate like force just stood around the Phorid fly areas, defending everything. That's an interesting idea. We've kind of gone completely against that, haven't we, by having these large attack forces instead, but that's interesting. So we could just stand. The leaf cutters
have clashed to the northwest.
Like these guys, we could just get standing over here, turn off their food gathering. I don't even need to do that.
Dissolved and consumed by the developing lava.
Just get them standing there, and that should defend the ants against the Phorid flies.
The opposing leaf cutters have retreated from one of their harvesting sites.
So we'll let these guys do some of their work
this time, but they'll soon be back, and in greater numbers.
But yeah, they will soon be back, so we'll strip a lot of this out, and then we'll just run away, essentially. Let some of the majors come in, because they're going to grab some large amounts of food for us. So I think we are going to need another little group of workers, aren't we? Because we might potentially have to block 2 of the Phorid flies off with little groups of workers. So I think what we'll also do is we'll do that and swap those 2 over. Keeping an eye on this, trying to wait for their numbers to start coming out. There they are. So we now head over here. In fact, no, the 2s need to stay here, really, don't they? I was going to say their attack force is coming out, but it's literally 2 medias and a worker. Oh, no, there we go. That's a bit more like it. So they're going to go down there. They're going to largely strip this area clean, but there's not that much food there in the first place, so that's not too much of a problem. So we need to make some more workers, I think, to act as Phorid defences. So we'll move these ones away from here now, as they've largely finished with that. Yeah, that's got a bit stuck again there.
Will need assistance.
It is in beta, remember. If you do want to play the beta, there are instructions on the Steam news section for Empires. There is also a video I put out a few days ago, just talking you through how to get the open beta if you want it. So if you do want to get it, there is a video on the channel showing you just how you can do that. So let's add these to a 3rd group, because we're not going to take long stripping this one down, are we? And we'll have to leave one of these here. In fact, we do need to turn their food gathering off now. We'll leave one of those groups there as we move on. And then we'll head to like this one here and then up here, I think. Once we're done here, which isn't going to take much. So we're already pretty much done, in fact. So let's start sending people up here, and we'll bring the 3s with us. And they will stand guard over there. We've got a couple more we can upgrade. Oh, that's interesting. Because I swapped those 2 groups over and brought the 12 inside, which I thought was sensible. At least one of those 12
has fallen prey to a young leaf.
That's fine, there'll be plenty of ants in a second. At least one of those 12 is infected with a Phorid fly, so it's moving super slow. So the stuff they're doing inside the nest is pretty tainted, shall we say, by that.
The hillside atta colony is falling behind. With their demise at hand, they have no choice but to strike back at their opponent.
I don't think it's really going to matter too much. I think we're going to be okay. But what we'll do is we'll bring the majors back, shall we? I don't think it's really going to matter too much. It's only 3 majors. I mean, it's really not worth even keeping them here. But we've done it now. So the 2s are going to hang around here still, are they? Yeah, defend those people against the Phorid flies. In fact, we didn't actually need the 3s here, did we? The 3s actually need to go and stand over there. So maybe we'll go for that plant afterwards, just so the 3s have a purpose. Oh, they have actually taken us out there. I think there are a couple more there than I anticipated. Anticipated. Ha 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 ha. Jokes. Almost taking them out. Almost. There we go. So we'll head for that bit next. And the 3s, in theory, would defend it. I don't know how good level 1 workers are at fighting off Phorid flies.
Phorid flies are attempting to lay eggs into the heads of ants on the foraging trail. Those traveling towards the leaves can defend themselves. Those lumbered with cargo will need assistance.
Yeah.
A fly has injected one of the workers with an egg. The ants' internal organs.
They're not very good at defending themselves, is what I'm saying. Oh, we've won it anyway.
The ants have subdued their rivals and achieved dominion over the...
So yeah, so I almost apologise for having it on easy, but I did just want to see what the Phorid flies were like. As I said, I also am a little bit time sensitive this evening, so I was trying to do something that wouldn't take up too much time, but I did want to see the Phorid flies in action. So that's interesting. So upgrading your enemies is one way of doing it, but as we saw there, I mean, we were gathering food at a pretty impressive rate, and we still really struggled to get many level 3. We got all of the work, all the medias done, but we didn't get any of the majors even upgraded once. So maybe it's more about having a small, but then, I don't know. Or do you just focus on having, rather than having 19 medias upgraded twice, which obviously costs you 3 times as much, maybe you have 2 groups of 19 foraging and 1 group of 19 defending. Maybe that's a better way of doing it. Rather than upgrading them, we'll just hit play more, shall we? Yeah, rather than upgrading them, using them as a defensive force instead. Maybe that would be better for you overall. Loads of Phorid flies over this side, look. The Phorid flies over here, look, have actually disappeared. As have these ones. You can fight them off then, I guess. I guess that's what's happened there. So that's interesting. So you can fight off the Phorid flies by the look of it. Or you can upgrade your ants so they are near invulnerable against them. Interesting stuff. You can see how many of my... Those are my majors as well. Or is that just the speed of majors and the carrying stuff? They look like they've got the little black stuff around them. Or is that just the speed of majors when they're carrying stuff? No, I'm sure they are infected, aren't they? So they did manage to infect all of the mages up there pretty much. That's like half of my mages are infected, which is a massive, massive impact. So I don't think they die from it that I've seen. They must do it at some point, but in the meantime, they're just super, super slow, look. And that will affect your leaf gathering ability quite significantly. Interesting. Good stuff. Anyway, gonna leave that there then. Probably gone a little bit longer than it needed to anyway. Hope you enjoyed this first look at the Phorid flies. If you did, do click the like button, that's massively appreciated, and subscribe to the channel, obviously, if you've not already. Questions and comments down below, a little bit more of the worker path in going a bit wrong. Questions and comments down below, as always, that'd be wonderful. Don't forget I stream on Wednesdays. I'm still streaming Minecraft. I was going to do something else in the coming week, but I've started off a couple of projects in Minecraft now that need to be finished, so we will be back in Minecraft. It is a multiplayer server, so if you play on PC, do feel free to come along and join in. Hopefully I'll see you there. Otherwise, I will see you next time in Empires of the Undergrowth, and as always, thank you very much for joining me.